Hi, my name is Bruce Robinson. I'm a doctor and also a scientist who specialises in immunology, and I want to talk to you today about the importance of that third COVID vaccine, the booster. Sometimes people say, hey, I'm really busy, I've had 2 already. Is that third vaccine, that booster, really important? Well, it is, and I'll tell you why. First of all, let me remind you, it refers to the additional vaccine dose after the primary course, which is almost always 2 doses. It might be Pfizer, might be Moderna, AstraZeneca, or Novavax. But a full dose, full course is when you've had those two. It might be a Johnson & Johnson single vaccine, but that's not available in Australia. There are 2 reasons why this booster is important. The first is that the original vaccine effectiveness wanes over time, so it needs a boost. Secondly, the Omicron variant, the new variant, has a few other mutations, so the previous immunity is not quite as strong, so you need the booster. The new variant, the BA2, at the moment it looks like it is holding up, that the vaccine is protecting against that as well, although it's fairly early days. So a booster vaccine is recommended for Australians who are aged 16 and over, that's the Pfizer vaccine. And for anyone who's 18 and over, the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines. The booster dose can be delivered anytime 3 months or more after the last dose. And it's especially important for people who are at risk, like old people, people who have got chronic lung or other disease, people who are in institutional care, aged care, or disabled, but also people who are immunocompromised. Anyway, there's 2 reasons to get this vaccine. The first is, if you're boosted, you've got less chance of getting the virus, which means you've got less chance of spreading it in the community of the people you love. But the second reason that it's important to get this vaccine is that it protects you from severe disease and dying. And if you look at the statistics on this graph, you'll see that if you compare the death rate of people over the age of 65 who have had the booster vaccine to those who've only had 2 vaccines, it's 90% more effective. That is, you've got 10 times as much chance of dying if you've only had 2. But if you've had no vaccines, you're 100 times more likely to die if you're over 65. So these are the most recent statistics from the Centers for Disease Control, and they just go to show that it's really important to get this booster. You might ask, what about the AstraZeneca? I had them before, shouldn't I have it again? Well, no, it's not recommended actually for the booster, unless there's some reason why you can't have an RNA vaccine like a Pfizer vaccine. And there'd be 2 reasons for that. One is you had an allergic reaction to it. And secondly, you might have had an inflammation around the heart as a side effect. In that case, you go ahead and have the AstraZeneca vaccine. It's still a very safe vaccine. I've had it twice myself. But not recommended unless there's a good reason. Recently, the Novavax vaccine has been added to the list if there's some reason why you can't have the other ones. Now, if you were sitting in my consulting room, you'd probably ask me a few questions, and I'll put them out there now. One is, how long is COVID going to last? Is it going to become an annual problem like the influenza virus, or is it going to still be a big problem? And if so, how long does this extra protection from the booster last? And what about these new variants? We had Delta, now we've got Omicron, and it can be pretty scary to think that you could have a new virus, a new variant, that has these 2 dangerous things. One is totally escaping immunity, so none of the vaccines or previous illnesses matter. And secondly, that it might be more lethal, like the original SARS. So I don't want to scare you, and I guess in some ways I'd like to just encourage you, because we now have strategies where we've learned about how to handle this virus. We have strategies and drugs, and also very rapid production of new vaccines. So please, even if a new dangerous variant comes out, we think we can handle it pretty quickly. If you'd like more information in your language, you can get some information from the government websites, but also if you notify us, email us, we can send you the answers to questions in your language and also inform you of any subsequent videos that we're going to be making.